I'm Felipe Hoffa, data and AI advocate. Felipe is a name from Spanish name. I moved to San Francisco from Chile back in 2011, and I've been very happy now. I'm an American citizen, and I joined Geotab recently. I'm going to tell you a little about that. Thank you for the support. So we're going to talk about the future of telematics using AI. I guess all of you are using AI every day. How many of you prefer Claude? Yes. How many of you prefer ChatGPT? How many of you used to use ChatGPT but now think Claude is better, but now ChatGPT is better again? That's where I'm at. So that's how I measure the maturity of people using AI, because yes, you keep switching. Yes, and you compare the answers and you're like, exactly. So yeah, talking about the future is hard because it's happening every day, all the rules are changing. I love this curve of, we have the innovators that are trying everything, early adopters, early majority laggards. We're going to talk about telematics, transportation, how people are measuring everything. Japan used to be very famous for being all about the future. If you go to Japan, so much telematics are still happening with pen and paper tachographs. And the government is investing a lot in how do we modernize all the fleets. So yes, if you go to Japan, maybe the future is for laggards, for people that still need to bring things that the rest of the world has been improving throughout these years. If you're an innovator, you know that the future is happening every day. No one knows what's going to happen, but see, we're building together. And this is me, as I was telling you. I moved in 2011 here. I started working for Google. If anyone has used Google BigQuery, I was the Google BigQuery developer advocate. You can find my old videos about it. Then in 2020, I moved to Snowflake, more data. And in 2025, Geotab called me. I met Geotab because when I was at Google, being the developer advocate for BigQuery, I saw that Geotab was an innovator using BigQuery, one of our first big customers. So I flew to Toronto, I made a video with them in 2018. And in 2025, they called me. They remember what I had been doing, and they want me to bring data and AI to the transportation world. And for me, it's really interesting. After working like in this company selling pure tech, well, I would be here just selling databases for anyone that's interested in a database. Now I'm working in a real life problem. How do we improve data and AI in an industry that has different levels of adoption? By the way, that was my 2013 picture. I look a little bit different now. So I asked ChatGPT to modernize it. I asked him to add 13 more years, and I gave it a reference picture. It did a pretty good job. I also asked Gemini to do this. So I went back to ChatGPT to ask an even better. I don't know if I can do it, but it looks like. So Geotab. Geotab has been around for 26 years. We have more than 3,000 employees, customers all around the world, millions of data points, 6 million vehicles moving around the world right now being tracked. That's a lot of data. But by the way, we do have an office in Atlanta. If you're looking for career opportunities, we do have career opportunities here. We do have a booth outside. You can talk to my teammates. You can go deeper into what you can do. Join us if that's what you want. But I also want to talk about entrepreneurship opportunities, how we have a marketplace.
Felipe, I just want to add.
Please.
I just want to add that our US hub is that office in Midtown Atlanta, right? So we're a global company. Main HQ is in Canada, but our US hub is right here in Midtown.
Yes. Please, everyone, if you want to interrupt me at any time, ask questions, have a dialogue, please do. Let's make this interactive. So, thank you, George. Anytime I might skip something, please do. Please interrupt me. Please go. Let's go deeper in anything you want. Sorry, you wanted a picture of all the opportunities. Also, we have the career site, and you can get all the opportunities. But we are really an innovators in AI. We work closely with Google Cloud. I went to Vegas conference, Google Cloud, earlier this year. At Geotab, we were presenting at 3 different talks with Google PMs, and Google product managers were talking about Geotab not as uh, these are my customers that are using my product, but Geotab is working with us to define what product we should be giving everyone else. So for me, it's really special to go back to Google as one customer helping with how do we innovate, because not even Google, no one knows how we deal with all of this. I'm going to show you a couple of videos that I made. This is a scale of where the Geotab is. This is one day, hour by hour, of vehicles moving around the US.
Snowplow clears a road in one
and what you can see, all of these dots are vehicles around the US, and you can see, let me just go faster. This is a lot of data. This is a lot of real things moving all through the day, the night, defining like how the East Coast never stops, garbage trucks, ambulances, snow plows, etc., etc. It's really fun for me to be able to have the data to create these things. So I was talking about maturity, how are we moving in the telematics world. It's important to know at first people just have none. They just have sent their vehicles, their fleets around the world. They might not feel the need to have data for it. But once you need data, the first thing people want is, let me see where my vehicles are, GPS. But there's so much more to telematics than GPS. What we have is this device that we connect directly, let's say, to the motor, to the computer of the car. And with this device, you can know everything that's happening inside the vehicle. But we can go farther away than, we can go at a bigger picture than the vehicle. We can see what's happening with the driver. Is our driver driving safely? Are they complying with the hours they have to comply? And of course, the big picture is you want to improve your operations. We have customers everywhere in this maturity curve, of course. The Geotab customers are people that want more, and things keep moving on. We can go even beyond operation centric, but I'm going to get there. So we talk about driver safety and management, rising operational costs and risk, regulatory compliance. I have friends here that work with compliance, so you can work with our fleets to help them. That's really good. Compliance is not only about what's happening in the road, but now it's compliance with AI. How are they putting all of their data in the systems and complying with whatever regulations we're coming up with AI? Yes, please.
Question. So I first started selling telematics and vehicles back in 2016, 2018, somewhere around here. So by now there's a decent amount of data out there, because you mentioned a maturity, right?
Yes.
So do we have data, real data from NTSB saying how much safer the roads are getting based off of this telematic technology? Does that exist? Do we see it? Is it out there?
That's a great question. I'm wondering how we do the A/B test, because what you're asking is the world safer thanks to all of this? I would say yes, but how do we run an A/B test? Like, oh, we run the same city with or without?
Yeah.
George, you have an
I was
answer.
going to say as well, because you'll have to look at all the telematics companies that have captured the data, right? Not just Geotab to get us. But we do have I think it's in your presentation, I don't say sister company, but a branch out called Altitude, right? Geotab Altitude. And one thing that we can do is we can look at traffic patterns. We can look at all the data that's coming in from vehicles from Geotab to see congestions. We can see, right now we're looking to work with the hospital to see what are the peak hours of congestion when people are trying to come, or ambulances trying to come to their location. So those things that we can do, we can capture data and look at trends or stuff like that from our data that we're capturing.
So if I'm understanding, and that makes total sense. Like, right, I can only tell you about what's happening in my shop, right? Right. And I think my question was more so about, U.S. data, right? NTSB, right? But along with traffic flowing better, one of the biggest things, especially when you brought up ELDs, right? That whole movement was because driving too long, right? So they wanted to make the road safer. So that's what I was wondering, is there actual data that says, hey, accidents, this amount of vehicles at this company before Geotab were at 10%. Now that Geotab is in place, they're 3%.
We can look at it from customer by customer basis.
Yeah,
so we
exactly.
can. So that's one of the things that actually my team does. My team looks at data, and you talked about BigQuery or GBQ, we call it with data query, and then we can go in and we can look and run analysis and trends and benchmarks, right, to see what customers are doing, and then we can also look to see trends to see if they're safer, meaning that if the first 6 years they've been piloting better or less accidents or less harsh driving, right?
Yeah.
And then with the adoption, and I don't know if you have this in your slide, but the adoption of cameras have now brought us another, I would say, simplicity of how these guys are driving, because now you can see if they're tailgating, right, and the reaction to someone or someone cuts them off. So there's a lot of things that we're doing, but we can look at the data customer by customer, but I'm not sure the government has access to see everything to see if they can look at trends, but yes, we can look to see if you as a customer is safer and your driver is safer month by month, year by year, trend by trend.
Yes. Exactly. If I put up three things, like one is at the regulation level. Like we want to improve safety. Sometimes it's not up to the fleet, but lawyers, not lawyers, lawmakers can create regulations to make everyone safer. We can help with the compliance. Because a law says something, you need compliance. Do fleets care about more safety? Wow, fleets have to pay for insurance. So one really good way to measure is it safer is, this fleet, once they are adopting these technologies, their insurance rates are going way lower. Yes, everyone is safer. So that's a pretty good measure of, not only measure, incentive to invest in this.
Felipe, I want someone to add a little bit more context, because he actually did this analysis.
Excellent.
That you're actually speaking about.
Okay.
Hey, hi guys. My name is Saksham Gulati. I work as the lead data scientist for recommendations engine, and we conducted the same analysis you're talking about. We observed over a span of 3 months, there was a reduction of 9% collision risk scores for someone who used Geotab as opposed to someone who did not. And in particular, we were looking at how they utilized Geotab, MyG. We looked at 3 things stood out: how they download reports, and how they look at their PCR scores. I mean, that's a technical term we use, but how they look at the dashboard, how they utilize the dashboard, how many times they log in, downloading of reports, and driver coaching, of course. So yeah, those are the 3 things that really stood out. But yes, 9% of reduction in PCR is what we observed over a span.
Thank you.
And that's how I love working here. Like, yes, we are not only collecting the data, we're doing the data science, we see how everything improves, and I get to talk to my teammates. And please, a question here.
I know you mentioned you did that over a period of 3 months. Is that continuing kind of monitoring that you're doing, so that is something that companies will know? Is this continuing information, or was that a one-time use?
Good question. So the study that we did, it's called a longitudinal analysis. What we observed were how things were previously and how things were after 3 months. So the study spanned for a period of 6 months. And the whole point of the study was to create the basics for a recommendation engine. What would cause a reduction in collision risk, as to we wanted to understand what a user does differently that causes them to reduce their getting into a collision. And we did this study for not just for safety, but also fuel efficiency, and this would lay the foundations of what we are working on right now, which is creating a recommendation engine, which would recommend proactively what you should do to make your fleets not only safer, but also more fuel efficient, more causing a less reduction in breakdown risk. So that's what we're working on right now, and exciting things to come.
Yes. As a Geotab customer, if you go to our UI, where you're managing your fleet, you can go and you can compare yourself in a benchmark against similar customers. And you can see like, wow, there are Geotab customers in the same category that are doing way better. And this is what they're doing. And what's the behavior within the customers, how are they managing their fleets to everyone keep doing that.
Felipe, I just want to add, so one of the things that we do as well, my team is our team of advisors, and these teams actually work with some of these large companies, and they look at these trends and insights. But not only that, we actually like to bring customers together in forums, so that customers can share their ideas, their best practices, hurdles, or gaps that they accomplish or have, and then those customers can also help them to understand how they overcame those gaps and those obstacles. So not only are we giving them the insights, but we also put them in forums so customers can share those insights as well.
Yes, and I have more slides about this, so let's keep moving. It's okay, we can stop anywhere and we can keep moving, but I can go faster, slower. As I was telling you, everything starts with this little device. We have the first version 26 years ago. And you can work all of these dimensions. Like, it's a seatbelt really being used. We can tell that thanks to that device connected to the car. And that's how you move to, okay, now let's do intelligent stuff around it. Let's make it visualize the room. Let's give the drivers an application. And if you've been paying attention to what's happening around the world, sometimes we don't even need that device because now you have all these EVs. We connect to them. We work with the top car manufacturers, fleet managers ask their truck providers to connect to Geotab because they want to see their whole fleet. So yeah, we have not only the Go device, we connect with OEM data, we connect with third parties, we have our own devices. I thought you wanted to say something, but it's okay. Let's continue. Now I'm going to briefly show you how my Geotab looks. It's a lot of slides, so I will go fast, and you can stop if you want. But of course, the first thing you can see is maps. If you go to our booth there, you can play with my Geotab, or anyone can create a free demo account, and you can have your own my Geotab working to play with it. So it starts with having a map, trip history, like what have they done, assets, everything that you have, building dashboards, building rules, like if this happens, please notify me, please do this. I love this one, for example, you can be researching what's happening in the city, are the roads going to be closed because the World Cup is happening? Okay, Geotab, notify me if any of my vehicles are in the wrong zone. Safety and coaching, it's an AI world. We're adding not only measuring what's happening within the car, but we can help drivers. We can see what's happening inside and outside the vehicle. You know, depends on the regulations, what the drivers are comfortable with. Having one of these cameras inside your car can reduce a lot of your insurance prices. So let me show you a short video of me, and this is the product manager behind this camera. So
the more Felipe asks, the more I'll answer.
For anyone wondering, what we have here today is
The Go Focus Plus.
the Go Focus Plus. Thank you very much.
Looks at forward-facing events, so things like tailgating, and then it also has in-cab events when we look into things like eating, drinking, smoking, seatbelt, phone usage. I'm going to pretend that I'm talking on my phone, and really, coaching comes down to a few different things. It's not
Put your
just
phone down.
and just 30 seconds ago you mentioned snow, and now we're in a small business.
When Geotab makes a decision to start developing the Go Focus Plus, how did that decision happen?
We initially worked with one of our partners very closely for a number of years. Long story short, that group is now part of Geotab, and they're really the magic behind Go Focus Plus, Go Focus Pro, the AI models, and all the functionality that comes with it.
It's not only a problem of normalization, but getting access and being able to see your whole fleet.
If something happens, when something happens, they'll have the record. They can set the record straight on what actually happened.
Should we start singing karaoke or should I take it on mentality?
But we're just going for a drive today. We want to stay safe.
Yeah, let's go.
anyway,
What do they
this is how much fun I'm having working here and
Find the
seeing
video with the whole
everything is
conversation
being
on
developed.
Geotab.
Felipe, one quick thing, a lot of companies love about cameras, you know, drivers, they're very, like, hesitant. Using cameras, yeah, using a mic as well, right? Using cameras, but it's actually helped exonerate a lot of companies as well. Because, you know, some people see a lot of big logos on the side of the truck, they want to try to get a lawsuit, is it actually has exonerated a lot of companies out of lawsuits as well because they have that data. So it's now shifted from just being looking at your diet, see what they're eating, drinking, smoking, but now to help them with those big global services.
Yes, the question with AI and with every tool, like wherever you are, if you're a driver, if you're working, wherever you're working is, do I feel I'm being monitored by this? Or as a driver, do I ask the company to provide a camera so I can prove that I have been driving safely, that it's not my fault that we had an accident? It's really how do we accept this technology and we use it to improve everyone's life. Not only the company results, but also the drivers, the programmers, whoever is working here. We want to have them request having this technology. And for example, if you're going to warn people to put the phone down, we want to be helpful, not annoying and detect things that are not phones when they are. And that's where AI has a place too. It's not only having a chatbot, but inside this camera we have models. It's not like we're sending all the data to a big data center, but we have to create models that go inside the camera that react appropriately to an event. That's the video. Compliance is super important because even if you don't want to do it, you have to comply with the laws. That's pretty good. Fuel energy and efficiency, that's important. You want to save money in fuel. Maintenance. My favorite example here is, yes, you know when the maintenance, one of the lights goes on your dashboard. What if Geotab can tell you that the light is going to go on before it goes on? Like, we can detect way more variables than just this vehicle is maintenance. We can tell you this vehicle is going to be maintenance next week, so you might want to schedule it today. Routing and optimization, let's optimize how everything is moving. Sustainability, again, you might not care about sustainability, but you want to save fuel. But if you care about sustainability, they are all connected also with regulations and being part of the world. And insights, as you're getting insights, as you have all those points, it's not only that you have access to your fleet, but as Geotab is collecting and anonymizing data across the US, across cities can use that data to improve what's happening. For example, you were mentioning how drivers are working too many hours. One of the problems for drivers is, where do I park to sleep? So we are working hard, and we have a lot of reports on, okay, these would be the best parking spots. These are the areas where they're parking. A lot of them are parking here in a place that has no bathroom, no services. We should build something for them here.
Oh, same facilities.
Facilities. Thank you. Yes, English. Second language. Yes, and our platform for that is Altitude by Geotab. It's a second platform. We give access to cities, planners, companies that are trying to plan where should I put a gas station. They can use this platform in a way that where we protect our customers' PII while giving the city data that they need. In fact, we are working with Georgia Tech. We are financing research grants. So yes, we're also working on improving Atlanta and the rest of the world. So if you like data and you have use cases, we're working on this. And for any entrepreneur here, we have the Geotab marketplace. What my Geotab does, our web UI, has great features that are good for all our customers, but each of our customers has different needs. In the marketplace, you can provide your own solutions, and the beautiful part for you is that you're in the marketplace, you already have access to customers that have the Go device installed, they're managing their fleet, and you can bring them a solution that they need. So yeah, there are more than 800 solutions there. We have more than 400 partners. You could be listed there, just providing something that's super local for your community, or something that's more innovative that we provide, we will help you not only be listed, but have a business model to do whatever you need. And it's in all of these categories that I've been talking about. And if you want to play with creating a marketplace addict, you can play with that today. I'm going to come back to that. Oh, we're doing well time. So yes, data, actionable insights, this is what we believe in, this is what we do. That's why we have data scientists working with this data to improve everyone's fleet. The data connector is all about getting dashboards, your Power BI connected to Geotab so you can build your own dashboards. My Geotab is our basic web UI, and ACE is the one giving you instant answers. I'm going to talk a little bit about ACE now. Of course, this slide shows like, oh no, so much data. What do I do with all these dashboards? I just want an answer. And what we had in 2022 was ChatGPT showed up. And suddenly we had a robot that can answer all of our questions, sometimes right, sometimes wrong. But the adoption of it was crazy in 3 months, and it keeps going up. This is from 2022. And one thing with ChatGPT is that it can answer a lot of questions, but it has no idea how your fleet is working. So in 2023, we started developing ACE, which is a chatbot that looks like ChatGPT, but that has access to all your Geotab data. So you have the questions in plain language, any language, you get some insights, and it produces like anything custom, so a question that you never had before, we are able to answer it. We can talk a little bit about how it works. If anyone has questions, we can come back here, but if not, it looks like you expect it to look. You have a prompt, you have results, and you can also see the reasoning and even the SQL query that you use to extract the data and get you that result. And this again is 2020. We started in 2023, 2024, 2025. A very important thing here is, as you know, with AI, you can go to Claude, ask to create a demo right now, and you can show up at a meeting and show off whatever project built. And it's amazing how in 3 hours you have a working prototype. Getting it to work reliable for all your customers, that takes way longer. So we've been improving ACE throughout this years. This is architecture. If you want to get into tech details, how we evaluate it, how we iterate, how we use feedback to improve the grounding of its answers. We can come back here if you have questions. But things kept changing. I don't know if we have time to see this video. But what I did here is in 2025, I compared ACE, which is based on what we started developing in 2023. I compared ACE with connecting Claude to Geotab, and even letting Claude use ACE instead of me. If you watch this video, what we are going to see is that, yeah, ACE plainly, you give it a question, it answers the question. This thing, Claude, you can ask it to investigate, like figure out why this is wrong. And it will ask 10 questions to ACE, it will go to the Geotab API, and it will do a lot of research. In 2025, you can start seeing this, how the thing we have been developing inside, how we need to augment it with what's been happening outside. But now it's 2026, and we have released our MCP server for Geotab. Anyone knows what MCP is? Yes. I know, I just wanted to see some hands, so I see some MCP hands. But yes, MCP is the keyword that we are using where all of these chatbots, Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, etc., they are able to work with your favorite tools. They can connect to your Salesforce, they can connect to your Geotab. Having an MCP server means that I can go to Claude and I can tell it, connect to Geotab and help me do things. And I'm going to skip this video, but I'm going to give you a demo of our just released Geotab MCP.
Let's talk about the new official Geotab MCP connector. You already have ACE to ask your fleet questions in natural language, and now you can plug your live fleet data straight into your AI assistant of choice, ChatGPT, Claude Copilot. So a quick question like, fault codes from the last 7 days and their severity gets an answer from live data right where your team works. Connecting takes a couple steps. To add Geotab as a custom connector into the system, you only have to point it to Geotab's official MCP server and sign in once. Your permissions carry straight over, so there are no new logins and no new access to manage. Your AI only sees what you already can. And once it's connected, the difference shows. Ask it why it's being used up, and it doesn't just answer. It can launch multi-step investigations. Here, it got a preliminary first result, so it rechecks the whole week and reasons its way to the real cause. Because it lives in your assistant, it can go beyond Geotab. For example, ask it to research any event in the news, and it will use the web to find the latest updates and check if any of your vehicles are inside the relevant zones. You can ask it to set alerts, and it will define geofences, rules, and alerts. This is what ACE alone cannot do. Work across your whole stack. A single fault becomes the diagnosis, an email draft to the garage, and a service slot held on your calendar. Geotab, Gmail, any other tool orchestrated in one conversation. And anything you build, you can keep. Go through your weekly Monday reviews, and then you can save that routine as a reusable skill with any rules and instructions specific to your fleet. One good workflow becomes something your whole team can run and collaborate with. You can try this with your whole fleet right now, or just load the simulator that we use to record this demo. It's based on the real experience, but it lets you explore the possibilities without any logins or setup. And then, once you're ready, review the requirements with a team and enable the connector inside the AI assistant of your choice, working alongside every other tool. Built on Geotab security, your permissions enforced automatically and included with your subscription. Connect your fleet and start building.
So this is where we are now. Like, let's connect all of the dots, and not only Geotab, let's connect all of the tools in one place. And also, inside Geotab, we are improving our own ACE and moving ACE to this kind of interaction.
So I want to go back to what you had asked, right? So this is where now customers can go in and run these insights and analysis, right? Let's give my top 5 drivers, give my drivers that are potentially going to create a lawsuit, right? Like, so this gives you the ability now from a fleet owner to run these metrics, these benchmarks on their own, right? And just by typing it in or telling, right, get what it wants. So this is the next generation.
That actually leads me to another question, based on what you said too, Gary. I'll focus on it for you. So you mentioned how it showed in there like vehicle maintenance records and things of that nature. So most companies have depending on where they are, they probably have 1 or 2 shops that they take their vehicles to. Are you all now evolving this scientific data to say, hey, maybe this shop doesn't repair the vehicles as well as this shop over here, right? So now you're getting recommendations on where they should go and how, who should be servicing what type of
Yeah, and a lot of these large companies, they do their maintenance on their own. So they get to see a lot of this stuff in-house, so they get to see a lot of this stuff as well. But yeah, you can definitely look at shops and see which shops they need to go to, which shops are preferable. But for a lot of these large companies that do it in-house, they have all these tools. Some of them already have maintenance solutions in-house, but you can have a one now platform that gives you the ability to do everything: maintenance, cameras, the trucks on the map, the assets that they have. So the good thing about Geotab is being able to have everything in one spot, right? When it comes to maintenance, we also talked about being preventative. You can also look at ESR, which is battery maintenance. So you can see before a guy leaves for a journey if that battery is going to fail before he even leaves the yard, right? So those are things that when maintenance comes in, we help these customers.
Something that I love about these ideas is, if Geotab is not doing it yet, maybe you can create something in the marketplace to offer Geotab customers, and now it's your revenue. Where's my slides? So yes, we have this is basically the MCP connector. If you have questions, we can come back here, but let me continue with the slides. Yes, we want to tell let the vehicles tell a story, the data tell a story, we group everything. Of course, the big problem is getting data that you can trust. Geotab does its best to give you clean data. Bringing in data from other tools is also really interesting. Using Claude to say, wait. Geotab is telling me this number in this report, and I'm asking the same question here, and I'm getting a different number. You can ask Claude why. There are simple questions like, how many active vehicles do I have? That doesn't have an easy answer, but because what is an active vehicle? Did it move yesterday? Did it move this week? Everything turns into, okay, let's move things into one place, but also creating skills. And skills where you tell Claude, this conversation that I just had, I want to have it every day, so do it this way, and the rest of the company will use it. I can share it with other people, we improve it, and all of us will improve together the definitions of what we're doing. And of course, humans are still important. We can let Claude do a lot, but we really need to determine what are the skills that we want, verify that it's happening. I love having, yes, X can have one opinion, Claude have another opinion, and we can have them fight. And we also bring ChatGPT to compare what are the results. We still need to adhere to take actions and adjust to whatever we want to improve. So, of course, AI can help us to generate insights, identify opportunities, but we need to take action. How are we letting Claude send vehicles to the garage? Decide which ones. Just let it send emails and make decisions. How do we trust the results? We need to gather the data, we need to evaluate. So how do we do responses with AI? Anyways, I want to show you a little bit about the hackathon. This is the last video I'm going to show you today, but we had a hackathon this year. Everyone was free to participate. You could have been part of this. You could have won it, but now you have to wait until the next one.
So we're all engineering nerds, and to showcase the power of AI, we're doing a little barcoding competition. So what is barcoding, I hear you ask?
There was this idea of the intelligent geofencing, and then I got to the plan.
The people who are non-technical, who are empowered now. Anything that create today, maybe could be a huge business in the next few months. So for the first time, anybody can develop software. If you can dream it, you can make it.
Program was a score of 76.
We have all the vehicles connected. It told me the incident time.
Pool Finder runs as a My Geotab app.
See here, our fleet is live.
Arrows shows vehicle in motion pointing.
The dashboard is fully responsive.
GPS locker schedules for My Geotab database.
Remember the days when you had an idea and you scribbled it down back of a napkin, and maybe sometime in the future you'd see it progress? I'm here to tell you that this napkin to reality gap, it's officially closed.
So, yes, please.
How many people participated in the hackathon and how many made it to the marketplace?
Good question. So how many participated and how many made it to the marketplace? I think we had like 43 valid submissions. You can see it in the GitHub. Let me back a little up. So anyone could participate. You could participate, but we also had partners participating that were already in the marketplace. We had customers participating, and a lot of what happened here is like, let's say you wanted to participate. This is the day I announced it. You can go home, create my Geotab free demo account. You take my repository because I have a vibe coding Geotab repository with all the skills. You tell Claude, okay, Claude, look at these skills. Create any add-in that you want for Geotab. And you could do that all for free other than your Claude credits. And suddenly you have a submission. We had people participate, for example, Veronica, the first one that you see there. Veronica is just starting a startup for mining operations. I told her about the hackathon, and she was like, ooh, I wanted to work with Geotab, but this hackathon is giving me the right incentive to do the integration work with Geotab for the first time and build something that might be useful for my customers. So in this case, for her, it wasn't about the marketplace, but when she's selling her solution to the mining operations, she can say, one, yes, we could connect with Geotab, and two, oh, I already figured that out. So her thing was not getting on the marketplace. Other people that are vibe coding hackathon show up to every vibe coding hackathon. We had one of those. They won one of the prizes just because they had a super cool solution. And again, the goal was not marketplace, but the goal was to win the hackathon. We had real money for here. We were like $25,000 in total. And others, I love our partner stuff. I already here have been selling solutions for years where they said, oh wow, I'm going to use the opportunity because I've been doing things one way for all these years. This is how we run our company. You know what? I'm going to use this opportunity to change how we do our processes.
What you're getting at is, so one, you don't have to be a Geotab customer to get in a hackathon. Two, you don't have to have a partnership with Geotab to get in a hackathon. And three, you don't have to create something that needs to go in the marketplace, right? A marketplace is basically a hold-in for companies that really want to get exposure by Geotab. But if you have an idea and it's going to enhance the telematic industry, you don't have to. You can just take that to these telematic industries. Hey, do you use Geotab? It's a solution that I built. So marketplace is one avenue, but being yourself entrepreneur is another avenue by building something where you see a gap in the industry. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. Sorry for the long answer, but I just wanted to give examples.
When's the next hackathon?
Hopefully in February, but yes, we have not planned it yet, but we love seeing the results. And if you can see all the things that people submitted. Next year is going to be even crazy because the amount of things you can do just telling Claude, do it.
Yeah, you have a real repo that you gave the hackathon people that you give that to the marketplace people too?
Sorry?
Your repository. You say you had a repository.
Oh yes, for our hackathon, we told people wherever you build, you have to put it on GitHub if you want to win a prize. If you want to keep your things private and do a super private business out of it, then it's okay. You can run your business out of it, but it's not for the hackathon.
And the guy that you saw in the video who was talking, that's our CEO and founder, Cause, and he's big on entrepreneurship. So that's why our platform is open source. Our SDKs, our APIs are all public because he wants people to go in and build on top of the solution. He said, we do what we do very well. We want other companies to go out and build on top of it things that they do very well.
And is there a fee to
be on the marketplace?
Yeah.
No. So we have different levels. So we have a basic level. We have a premium level. You want to go?
No, please, I love it.
So we have a basic level and a premium level. I explained to someone earlier. A basic level is where you just build something. We don't put any marketing behind it, right? We just give you a spot. It's basic. You have limited resources to get your solution out. We have premium where you have marketing collateral. You come to our Connect conferences. You get exposed to our distributors to promote your product. So there's different levels, but yeah.
They have some free information.
Yeah. I won't call it free.
Like a tier.
Yeah, tier. Yeah, a tier, 100%. And that could be software or hardware. So it's not just limited to one.
Oh, I have some slides, but because we're running out of time, I'm going to come back to the slides, but I cannot do this talk without giving you a demo.
Yes.
So this is my Geotab. This is a free Geotab account. If you want one, just go to here, my Geotab registration, create a demo database, and you will have this at home in 5 minutes. But this is the map that people usually see. And let's say we want to change things here. So this is where the add-ins are. I have nothing. But this is the easiest thing I created for people. Like, let's create a new add-in for Geotab. And I'm going to tell this gen, give me a map where the vehicles are replaced with emojis showing their speed. So choose appropriate animal. And this thing requires so much knowledge before. Now, anyone that lands in this page can do this, slow, turtle, horse, rocket, and it created code. I can just come here and copy code Let me see if this will work. We have add system settings, add-ins, create a new add-in. I'm going to copy paste the code here. Ah, why are you wrong? Let me give hard time to Gemini. This is a AI experience. Sometimes it works the first time, sometimes it doesn't. But now Gemini is trying again. Copy code. I'm not going to leave this place until we have a working add-in. Save. Thank you. Fleet counter 01. Oh, come on. Copy the dark data. Gemini, that's not showing me the map or anything I want. The map. Last time it worked so well, and I'm also going to give it the debug log. And another thing that you can do with robots is you can change it from Flash, the fast one, to the thinking one. So I'm going to make it think next.
So why did you use Gemini over Claude? What's that?
My favorite, now I'm between Claude and ChatGPT. What I love about Agent is that I can just give you the URL and you have nothing, and it creates this code out of nowhere. So it's my first step. If this doesn't work, I can take this code and tell Claude Code fix it. In fact, Claude AI code. I'm going to try this in parallel. I'm going to start a new session with not the Geotab CPC with the bad guy that has all the skies, and fix this code and give me the add-in that puts emojis in the map for the speed. It will understand and it will fix it. Meanwhile, we go back to Gemini. Which one is the better AI? Thank you for suggesting Claude. New add-in, the copy paste, done. While Claude does its thing is like 3.6. Okay, that didn't work, fix it. And now I'm giving it. I have more tokens to think about it. Claude is running the more professional audit of what is happening here. Gemini. Copy that data. Like. Copy paste the data. We don't leave this place until we have this working. We have 5 minutes. You can see how I love Claude Code on the web too. I do so much coding on my phone. Like I put this to work, I'm biking around, I stop, I tell it I want this, I want that. Of course, to run it a plan, and you can see how it's looking at the examples that I gave it, existing add-in configurations, embedding script docs, and it's finding everything on my Vibe guide. So if you want to run things, you go to GitHub Hoffa Vibe guide. These are all the skills that Claude needs to write things. Still working, Gemini. Am I boring you, or is it fun to see me fail? Standard, we let it do this again. Claude Code is competing, taking longer, but it's okay if it works. I have a new add-in here, copy code, nicely counter. You know, I run this example many times, and it's the first time I'm getting this hard time. Did it? Yay! Excellent. So you see, we have some slow vehicles, some are going fast as a cheetah, that's an aerial, that's a rocket. So the thing is working. And all I have to do to make this work is just open a new window and ask again, and the second time it works. AI.
I think you did like a magician, where you feel like you're going to fail, but you know he's going to get it right.
Yes.
Great job.
It's always more fun that way. Like, let's show that this is hard. I had me just ask again your AI. And these were our winners. I'm not going to tell you everything that they did, but very quickly, how do we do coaching? How do we do improving the utilization of vehicles? Like this municipality has 30 vehicles, maybe we could have 20. They created an app that would do that. Onboarding. Oh, when I start using Geotab, how do I connect the CRM, the billing, and everything, and how this works? Multi-agent safety audit integrated dashcam footage. Routing. This was some smart routing. And we also gave a prize to the most collaborative person because we had people discussing the community, like, oh, you're creating an audit, you're creating an audit, go talk to each other. And if we see someone being very collaborative, they also want a prize. This is a reseller since 2015, so he knew a lot, and we were really, really happy to share with them. So you can, these are actions you can take today. You can create a demo database, you can try the adding agency, you can connect Claude with MCP and ask it to run more flows, and use my Geotab framework. Yes, we're going to take pictures. We're going to see action, and you're going to get ready for the hackathon. Yes. Yeah, the bad guy, that's the main resource that I have.